products delivered to you via superb service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
In recognition of our nation's independence, we're celebrating the journey to 50 with an exclusive car insurance offer. If you are 50 years and over or turning 50 in 2024, our 50-plus car insurance is perfect for you. It's loaded with free benefits like loss of use, special perils, and windscreen cover up to $2,500. Getting to 50 is filled with ups and downs. Let's celebrate these moments together and look forward to 50 more. Call Beacon Insurance at 440-4447 or log on to beacongrenada.com to get a free quote today. Special conditions apply.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches, and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess, and Klein, and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Excuse me, miss. What's that ding-ding noise?
Oh, that's customers collecting points from a frequent shopper program.
Okay.
Each time you shop with your frequent shopper card, you earn points, which can be redeemed for future discounts on purchases. Seems like you don't have one.
Nope.
You can sign up today and start collecting your points.
Anywhere at any time and have it delivered to you right here in Grenada at yogo.gd.
See this? This is water. Essential, irreplaceable. An average person uses 35 gallons of water daily, but sometimes we take it for granted. But what if, like during a hurricane, this faucet runs dry? That's why every household needs a water storage system. Imagine 3 days worth of water supply, always ready for emergency. And when you run low, nature's got your back. You can capture rainwater for use. And that's how you use nature's gift in a smart, sustainable way. So when service gets interrupted, you're not. Until our next flash of Nawasa wisdom, know your household needs and store a minimum of 3 days water supply. Stay water wise and see you next time.
This advertisement is in a series showcasing Nawasa's operations. Stay tuned for more in-depth insights into our services and initiatives.
All right, folks, and we'd like to say officially welcome to everybody on the program. Those of you who are here for the first time, those of you who are here all the time, you know, the usual suspects. We say hello to you all the time. And of course, we've got a few things to talk about. What's breaking the internet? There's always something that's breaking the internet. What's breaking the internet for you? You can put that in the comment section. Let's see what it is that you think. Father Paul is still breaking the internet. All right. It's been, I think about 2 interviews I saw him, and he was just talking about, the current state of affairs with him and the bishop, and of course with the church, and it's a lot, so the whole thing continues. Father Paul has gotten very popular, well, even more popular. He was already popular, but even more popular in the past 2 or so weeks. Anyway, what else we have to tell you about? The Fiscal Resilience Oversight Committee has submitted its 2023 annual report. We'll tell you what's in it. All right, GHTA and NAWASA collaborate to address water supply challenges during the dry season. And staff continues to protest. We're talking about Hubbard's staff. Workers were out after work today with candles. We'll talk to you about that and more. When we return, remember, someone sharing tonight's program will receive some free credits, compliments to yourself. That lucky person might just be you. You just never know. All right, give yourself a try. Share the business. All right, and of course, tell somebody that we are live. We're coming back in a couple of seconds. We'll be back.
Infinite Contractors and Machinery. We are your one-stop engineering and consultancy company with experience locally, regionally, and internationally. We provide excavation services and engineering consultancy, construction of residential and commercial structures, civil works such as drainage, retaining walls, roads, concrete patio services, paving services, concrete driveway services, remodeling and renovation, painting services, styling services, and so much more. Ask about our rental services of excavators, heavy equipment, metal formwork, and steel prop. Contact us today via telephone number 537-9675 or email infinitecontractors19@gmail.com.
Okay, Jose. So let's get straight into the news. So yes, Father Paul, we told you that there was some sort of agreement between the church or the bishop and Father Paul that, there'll be no more public statements, and, they've decided to collaborate and to, work in the interest of the church and so on. I guess as much there's a different interpretation of that, since we have still seen Father Paul out talking about stuff. He was on the radio today, and talking about, what's going on. I think one of the things that triggered his reaction is the fact that there didn't seem to be any explicit pronouncement or announcement that according to him, his suspension had been lifted. So I guess so much that also created a little, in his mind, he's not reaching any agreement, still conversing about the whole subject matter. All right, so there's a lot more to come, as it would seem. All right, so let's see what's going on. Yep, let's see what's going on. But anyway, we got the notice from the mediator, from last week, from the agreement that was met on Saturday, and we read that to you yesterday, I think we did. So we don't have to go through that again. But I don't know what's really going on. But anyway, lately that talk, we're moving. We're moving on, they're moving. It seemed like the election campaign is softly starting up. Vroom, vroom, like when it's starting. That's what it would seem like. Because I finally seen certain signs, They say where there is smoke, there might be fire. All right, so let's just monitor the business. If we are entering earlyly, like my water, take all the time with it. If we are entering earlyly into an election campaign, then I would love it, because I love campaigns. I love to see, the different sides do the little thing and like that, and then, your boy like to do the election night results, So anyway, I look forward to that. So, by the way, the workers were out once more. We're talking about workers from Hubbard's. They were out again today with their candles. See? Seem to have had some sort of, what should I say? But according to one of the workers, there's still ongoing negotiations with regards to salary increases, and they want their money. You understand? They want their money. So it seems like there's consensus with that. As you can see, if not all, the majority of the workers are out with the carry your candle, come to the darkness. And people singing, all don't call me to sing a little karaoke for all the world. My brother does do karaoke, not me. But you know, we could do a little thing. You understand? But yeah, on a serious note, the workers feel aggrieved. Hence, they're out after a hard day's work with a silent protest. They ain't saying nothing. They just put up the candle for all to see that they are not happy. They want their money. If they don't get it, they will be on the street with the candle for all to see. So, people, let's take a serious note, right? News discourse, we can't make it too boring. But at the same time, let's see. We have not heard from the company. I thought by now I was going to get a little thing, with the company's side of the story. We have not gotten that as yet, but we will see if something is going to come anytime or explaining what their position is on this matter. But of course, we see them workers all day by pressure. See, pressure does boss pipe. All right. So, yeah, or somebody from management, give me a call now. Let me hear what I'm saying, dog. Let me just hear what's tell me what's going on, man. So I could talk about the business on the business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let me know what's going on in the business, man. Somebody see what's going on with Mikey. You gotta make me think the boring, man. Why is that one? All right, so here's this, right? In response to ongoing challenges faced by businesses in the tourism sector during the dry season, the Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association, the GHTA, convened a collaborative meeting with the National Water and Sewage Authority, NAWASA, to discuss critical, issues related to water supply. Now, the meeting held on Monday, April 15, that was yesterday, brought together hotel members of the GHTA and key representatives from NAWASA to strategize, they say, on mitigating risks associated with water security. Now, Terence Smith, who is the acting general manager of NAWASA, warmly welcomed participants and emphasized the importance of proactive measures in addressing water supply challenges. Now, during the session, Ernest Bruno and Lyndon Bullen from NAWASA provided valuable insight, they say, into the specific challenges faced during the dry season and outlined actions that is to address these issues. Now, Jamela Lewis and Wendy Chateau shared NAWASA's communication strategy, stressing the importance of collaboration between NAWASA and hotels in addressing water supply concerns. Now, as part of NAWASA's strategy to mitigate risks, hoteliers were encouraged to take several proactive steps. Firstly, hotels were advised to monitor and record their water levels regularly, ensuring they maintain a minimum of 6 days water supply. Additionally, hoteliers were urged to increase their water storage capacity to enhance resilience during the periods of water scarcity. Now, to further conserve water resources, it was also recommended that hotels retrofit their plumbing systems to improve efficiency and reduce water wastage. Moreover, hoteliers were encouraged to practice water augmentation by implementing rainwater harvesting systems, aiming for a 15% increase in water supply through sustainable practices. In an effort to support NAWASA's initiatives, hotels were requested to collect and submit data to their water storage usage patterns And this data will assist NAWASA in implementing targeted measures to reduce water issues during the dry season effectively. All right, now Arlene Friday, who is the CEO of the GHTA, expressed gratitude to NAWASA for initiating the collaborative meeting and involving hotels in their critical discussions. Now, she emphasized the importance of closer collaboration between NAWASA and the tourism sector to ensure effective dissemination of information and the collection of necessary data. The collaborative efforts between GHTA and NAWASA underscores a shared commitment to sustainable water management and resilience building within Grenada's tourism industry. By working together, stakeholders aim to proactively address water supply challenges and enhance the resilience of the tourism sector to the impacts of climate change. Right? Necessary, very necessary. So I'll give all of that, discuss and find ways that y'all could deal with the business. And so I'm saying, and we were just talking about that yesterday, that NAWASA don't make water. They manage the water that is collected. All right? And we don't get as much rain during this time of the year. And so every year we have to come up with innovative ways of dealing with these water challenges and, as they would say, mitigating and that as well. All right, so not bad hit haul. Okay, so the next thing that we have to tell you, boy, this one is very important. You've heard about frack, not the thing that it does with, not what frack. There's a different, what else called it? The frack, the thing that it does with. But that's not what we're talking about now. We're talking about something else. All right. Now, let me see if I fix up that piece of thing there. Right. Just now we go talk to the police. We have a nice little program. I wonder if we could do it tonight, boy, because I see that we're running out of time. But we'll see. We will see. All right. So the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, is pursuant to Section 14(3)(b) of the Fiscal Responsibility Act, number 29 of 2015, and Section 12(3)(b) of the Fiscal Resilience Act, number 11 of 2023, follow me, the Fiscal Resilience Oversight Committee, FROC, submitted on the 28th of March 2024 its 2023 annual report to the Clerk of Parliament for onward transmission to the Honorable Leo Cato, who is the Speaker of the House of Representatives and Chairman of the Committee of Privileges. Now, the fiscal responsibility or resilience legislation provides a framework for government's adherence to fiscal discipline, transparency, and accountability in government's fiscal transactions, and fiscal and debt sustainability. Now, the Fiscal Resilience Oversight Committee, established under these acts of Parliament, is mandated to monitor and to report to the House of Representatives on the compliance of government with the provisions of the legislation. Now, the findings are outlined in the FROC 2023 annual report, and that's what we're talking about. Okay? Now, look at the FROC logo here, the FROC logo. So, the annual report commences with the economic development in 2023, highlighting the established economic growth rate of 5.5%. influenced primarily by the recovery in tourism and growth in construction. Higher imports associated with the expansion in the service-oriented sectors contributed to a widening of the merchandise trade deficit. Now, foreign exchange earnings from tourism, inflows from the Citizenship by Investment Program, and foreign direct investment contributed to financing the merchandise trade transactions. Central government fiscal performance was favorable, they say, and the financial system remained stable. Inflation eased and the rate of unemployment declined. And economic growth and central government finances are projected to moderate over and medium term. Now, the Fiscal Responsibility Act was the framework for assessing government's fiscal operations in 2023, during which the central government complied with the real growth in primary expenditure, the wage bill, the primary balance, and the liabilities for public-private partnerships. Now, the debt to GDP ratio was above the targeted 55% of GDP. Over the medium term, 2024 to 2026, the operations of the central government are projected to comply with the Fiscal Resilience Act, which became effective from the 1st of January 2024 for the wage bill and the primary balance. Now, the debt target of 60% of GDP is to be achieved by 2035. And of course, there is more about this, and we've actually posted it on our website. We really don't want to overwhelm you because there's a lot of information there. So you can always check it out at www.mikeylive.com. That's MIKEYLIVE.com. In fact, many of the stories that you hear from us at night, we make sure we post it there so that if you want to just go back and if you say, well, Mikey, sound like you're talking shoepiness, let me just go back and read it to see for myself. You can also do that. Go check out our website, MikeyLive.com. All right. So, again, calls, a lot of calls, and I'm just putting it out there, from people relating to the treatment of workers at the stadium. You know, there is the rehabilitation of the stadium or the renovation of the stadium, however you want to call it, that's managed by the Chinese. And I've been overwhelmed. Voice notes, messages, both on Facebook and on WhatsApp, separate people talking about how workers are being treated. One person said that they are made to work Sunday to Sunday. One say that they are not allowed to do certain things. As you know, it's crazy stuff. Why am I saying this? I'm just putting it out there so that it will get to the necessary people to take a look at it before I go in depth. You understand? We like to give you an opportunity. You understand? Because at the end of the day, it is, if anything is happening that is inconsistent with our labor code, that by virtue of you hearing that we are looking into the operations there, that you will straighten up and fly right. So I'm not going to go into details to say, okay, these are the things that are alleged to have been to be happening. I'm not going to go there as yet, because my hope is that by virtue of you seeing that, whoever needs to see this, if you are in breach of Grenada's labor code, that you straighten up and fly right before the next step is taken by we. You understand? How is that sound? How is that? Like, in other words, like giving you an opportunity now. You understand? To organize a business. You understand? Before you get organized on the business. Good. Right. So from time to time, we want to engage with the Royal Grenada Police Force, and we have committed to that to help you understand the different aspects of policing in Grenada, different aspects of law enforcement, so that, you know, they say like knowledge is power. Yeah? So that you know your rights and you also know your responsibilities. So today we speak with the prosecution department of the Royal Grenada Police Force. We've got a lady, number 13, in fact. She's from the prosecution department, and we will delve into warrants and sermons. Yes, warrants and sermon. Very, very, very critical areas that we are to discuss. And so we are going to discuss that for the next few minutes. Of course, knowledge is power. Let's transition over into that dialogue, into that discussion. 1 second. Let's get things going. Well, I'd like to welcome everyone to another special program. You know, we tell you that we will continue to engage with the, or we told you, sorry, that we're going to continue to engage with the Royal Grenada Police Force on matters that concerns you. This morning, we have the pleasure of speaking with Constable 13, number 13, lucky number 13, Chrisanne James, and she's from the prosecution department. Good day to you.
Good day, sir. Good day, all. listening. If it's listening public, good.
All right. So the prosecution department, we might hear about prosecutors, but sometimes we don't often hear about the prosecution department. So kind of like give us some insight as to what are your roles and responsibilities, what it is that the prosecution department is responsible for.
Right. So our department is responsible for court proceedings generally and issuing of, well, serving of summons and warrants. So we have prosecutors attached here, we have process servers, and of course we have clerical staff. So our process servers are the ones who go outside and serve summons that are issued by the court and the warrants, of course. And our prosecutors actually go to court and does the matters before the magistrates and stuff like that. So we are at the lower level that is at the magistrate courts, and some of our matters, indictable matters, go to the high court, and that's where the DPP office takes over. So all matters start with us.
Ah, wow. And so the prosecutors, they're like lawyers in a sense on behalf of the police. That's how I like to regard them. And is it fair to say that?
That's correct. We are.
Okay, great. And, you know, I've had the pleasure of seeing prosecutors in action and like, whoa, you know, they're so good, like so good, very intelligent, very articulate, knows the law. And like you say, I like to regard them as the lawyers on behalf of the police force. And so what role do you play, just if you don't mind me asking, within the department?
I am a prosecutor, yes.
Oh, okay, okay, wow. Nice. All right, good, good, good. So you've mentioned summons and you have mentioned warrants. I'm not too sure if we are clear on the differences. So kind of like go through what a summon is and what a warrant is.
So let's start with the summons. So a summons, are you hearing me?
Yes, we are hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
So a summons is a written order that is issued by the court, the magistrate directing a person to appear before the court at a specific date and time. So a summons can be issued for a witness in a matter or a defendant. So the defendant in this case is the person that is actually charged with an offense. So the summons is issued to him to appear, him or her, to appear at court at a certain day and time. In that summons, it would outline the complaint, that is the offense that that person is being charged for. So you would have all the information in there. And as for witnesses, it would be same thing. They would outline the complaint as the defendant's summons. So you would know what you're attending court to give evidence on. So those are the two summons that the court usually issues. So there are defendant summonses and there are witness summonses. So with the summons, it's actually an order from the court. So when you get a summons, it's a command. You are expected to be in court at the date and time specified in that summons. It's not a case of whether or not you want to come, especially for defendants. You are to appear. Witnesses as well. The order is clear, it's set out. You are to appear at a certain date and time. It's a command that you ought to follow.
So wait, hold on, back up. So I received a summon because I was witness to a particular incident, and I decided, see, this me want no part. I can't just say, you know what, that doesn't concern me, I ain't coming.
No. Once that summons is issued from the court, you have to attend. It's an actual order, it's a command. It says that you're supposed to be at a date or a time. In some cases, witnesses make complaints against persons, and maybe probably a period of time pass and you change your mind. You no longer want that matter to proceed. You get a summons and you might say, oh, I ain't worried that I ain't coming. That's not an option. You're supposed to come to court and let the court know, okay, this had happened. However, I do not wish to proceed. But when you get that summons, you're supposed to attend court. You ought to attend court. When you come to court, if that is the course of action you want, then you come to court and you say, I do not want to proceed. But you ought to attend when you receive that. as a witness as well.
Oh, okay. So I just wanted to clarify that. So complainants receive sermon as well to come to court. The people who are the virtual complainants. The people who go to the police and say, well, me never, you know, Peter stone behind me or whatever the case is. You become the virtual complainant. The neighbor who witnesses that, how do they end up getting, do they get a sermon to come to court, or you as the person, the virtual complainant, you invite them to come to court? How does that work? Where do they fall into the whole line of the summons in and so on?
Well, okay, in that case, the witness, if the virtual complainant comes and they make a report, and even at the court proceeding, that person says, well, this person witnessed this and they can aid my case, the court then has the power, the authority to issue a summons for that person. Even if you didn't actually go into the station and give a statement, but once that information becomes available to the court that you can aid in the case, whether for the defense or the prosecution, this court can issue a summons for you.
Okay, so there's a messenger, a message, and a receiver. What if the messenger, the court, sends the message, and I'm supposed to receive a summons, I didn't, and there comes a court date and so on, and I failed to show up by virtue of me not knowing that I had court today? You said it was an order. What happens in circumstances like this?
Well, if you do not get the summons, then you can't be at fault. So when a summons is issued, we have what we call process servers, as indicated before, that constables that are attached to our department followed. So they would get these summons and they would actually find the person and give them a copy. Now, summons can be served personally or at your last place of abode, last place that we know that you live at. So if we come there and we do not see you personally, we can leave it there. Or we make, sometimes what our process servers do, we make phone calls. So if you're at work, we come there, you get the summons personally, wherever you are, or we leave it at a place that you can collect it. Now, when you get that summons, then you come to court. If you do not get it, we cannot fault you. So a matter comes up and you're not served, the matter can be adjourned by the court, another summons will be issued, and that summons then goes back to the process server to try to find you again.
I still want to go into your wordings. When you get that summon, so what if you drop it off at my workplace or wherever, or the last place you know that I live, but I have 2 houses. I deliberately probably refuse to go there because I know there's a summon waiting there for me, or I do things to evade coming into contact with that actual document. How does the court regard that? Do they regard that as refusal, or you were actually not served?
Well, it depends. Now, if the process servers can satisfy the court that you are actually evading the service, then the court can then issue a warrant for your arrest, right? So once that can be proven that you are actually evading the service, the court then can issue a warrant for your arrest. However, if the summons is left at your last place of abode, the court may give notice of that. So they may say, well, okay, probably you did not get it, and the court can then issue another one. Or the court can be satisfied that you live there and you would have received it. So they then proceed, well, in cases of defendants, they proceed what we call ex parte. We do it behind your back. You can be fined a normal course of action as the court sees fit. In terms of witnesses, if you're served, court satisfied that you're served, left at your last place of abode, and the court is satisfied that you live there, they can then struck out the matter. Court sees that you're not interested. So then they then struck out the matter against the defendant.
But that would have also wasted some time and resources from your office. Is there any penalty for that?
In the lower courts, I know the high courts, they do impose fines and stuff like that on persons that don't show up. But generally, yes, there are penalties, but very rare we see them actually executed in the lower courts. If you make a complaint and you said Jim uses obscene language against you and you were annoyed, and the court then issues a summons to you and you don't show up, the court sees it as you're not interested. Petty trifling offenses, so the court might just let that go. But in serious cases, the most serious matters, the court then may issue a warrant for your arrest to bring you to court.
Okay, so we've heard your words again, sermon, and we are hearing warrants. How do they differ?
Well, the summons are the initial process that starts the matter. So when a matter comes and the complaint is made before the court, the matter is lodged, and the court issues a summons, it starts the matter. So once that summons is issued, then obviously we have to serve it on you. And thereafter, if you do not adhere to that command, that summons, then we move on to the warrant stages. And you heard me speaking about the arrest warrant. So in terms of you receiving the summons and not showing up to court, then we do the arrest warrant, what we call some bench warrants. So we then go that way to bring you to court. So that's where the warrants start. So the summons are the actual initial stage of the proceedings. And when those are not adhered to, we go to the warrants. There are different types of warrants. Let me just give you the definition, the actual definition of a warrant. I may aid you better. A warrant is a written authority signed by a magistrate, a judge, or a justice of the peace directing the person to whom it is addressed to a certain act. So different types of warrants, commitment warrants, those are the warrants where the court would have imposed a judgment against you and you would not have adhered, so you would have compensations and fines, that the matter would have been heard before the court and it was decided that you had to pay a fine or compensation and you did not do that. Then we issue a commitment warrant. Once that time has elapsed, so before, just to backtrack, once the court gives you an order, it gives you time to pay. So when that time has elapsed and you did not pay, then the court would issue a commitment warrant. So those warrants come to the process servers and they would find you. And at that point, when the process server comes to you, you ought to pay your fine or your compensation. If not, you are then taken to the prison, His Majesty's prison.
Wow.
Then we have the search warrants, and as indicated before, the arrest warrants, bench warrants. There are different other types of warrants, distress warrants, ejection warrants, but those are in our purview, the bench warrants, commitment warrants.
And basically, the bench warrant, for example, you show up in the house wherever you can find the person on the day of court or a day before or so, and then you keep them in a holding facility until it is their time for their hearing?
Well, once they have the bench warrants and they see you, they can execute it on you. In the warrant, there's an actual hearing date. However, if they see you 2 weeks before, they can execute that warrant on you and take you to court. Now, the court in its powers can, at that point, release you to appear on the hearing date. They can hear the matter on that very same day. It's up to the court. Or they can remand you to prison until the hearing date. So when when that warrant is executed on you and you're taken to court, then the magistrate would ask you, why didn't you show up? If you can't give the magistrate a proper reason, or the magistrate gets the information that you were actually evading and you're not coming to court willfully, then she can remand you until the hearing date. The matter can be heard the same day or given another date. It's up to the court.
Some serious business there.
Serious business.
Is there any sense in calling because it's so serious? Can you call the court to find out if there's any warrant against you? Probably because you know you had a court and you traveled and you came back. You didn't know what happened. Is there any way of following up to find out whether or not you're in breach of your office and how you can become compliant?
Sure. Once you know that you had a matter and it probably would have been done in your absence or so, you can call the court or our office to find out whether or not what had happened to the matter, if a warrant was issued, yes, you can do that.
And just going back a little while we are talking about it, I know that there are some situations where people complain that the court went ahead and tried the matter behind me back. In other words, they didn't give me an opportunity to be present or to state my case, and they tried the matter behind my back. What is your response to that? Because some are saying that sometimes you do that not knowing to them, unbeknownst to them. They are willing to come to court, they're ready, they don't know what happened, but all they know that the matter had passed and there's a particular outcome.
That would not be the case. The court does not go ahead with the matter unless the court is satisfied that that person was made aware of that matter. They would not do it behind your back like that. Now, if the court is satisfied that you were served with a summons or otherwise, then the court proceeds with the matter. So generally, almost always, the court has to be satisfied that the defendant or witness was served with a matter. And how they are satisfied is that when the process servers come to you and they actually give you the summons, or they leave it at your last place of report, or that wherever you request it to be left, then the process servers do what we call an affidavit of service. They go and they swear on oath that this summons was served to you. So they go to JP or the registrar, wherever they choose, and swear this on oath that this was done, and a copy of this is taken to the court. So the court uses that to proceed with the matter, and it's only then the court would do so. So it's not a case of the court would do it behind your back just randomly. The court has to be satisfied that you were served, that you know of the matter, and they would do it behind your back if you're not present.
Any chance of that case going back into court when you claim or you feel that you were not given the opportunity? I'm just on behalf of those who make those complaints. Any chance of that matter being able to go back to court or no?
Well, we have what we call appeals, but there's a period that you have to do it within. So if that period is passed, then obviously you lost your chance. But yes, once that appeal is done, between the time and the matter is heard, then there's a determination in another court to say whether or not that matter should be retried or not.
Okay. Right. Is there any other areas of operation that you would like to explain to us before we wrap up today's interview?
Right. So in terms of issuance of summons and receipt of it for persons, especially witnesses and defendants, there is a 48-hour period that you're given. So once you get that summons, it should be given to you 48 hours prior to the hearing date. That is what the law requires. You should receive the summons 48 hours prior to that hearing date. Now, if you get this summons within that 48 hour, it doesn't prevent you from coming to court. You're supposed to come to court and tell the court, listen, I got this summons, however, I got it yesterday. The hearing date is today. Now, the court would then give you time whether you want to get a lawyer or not. Or even if you were served yesterday for today and you come to court, then the court would ask you if you want to proceed with the matter, waiving the time period, and then the court could, upon your okay, the court would then proceed with the matter. If not, then the court would give you a time. So that 48 hours is mandated by law before the hearing date for you to be served. And as indicated, even if you do not have that 48 hours, you get it a day before. You ought to come to court and let the court know that it doesn't evade the fact that you get it 48 hours within that 48 hours, so you don't come. You should come to court and let the court know, hey, I just got this summons. However, I need time to organize myself. I need to know what the claim is. I need to, put things in order to actually hear this matter. But you ought to come to court when you get that summons. So there's that 48-hour period. So summons are usually, process servers can serve the summons generally Monday to Saturday. We don't usually serve summons on a Sunday. The warrants, different. Any day, Sunday to Sunday, the process servants can execute warrants, search warrants, arrest warrants. But with the summons, usually the law requires Monday to Saturday period. We don't do no Sundays. So once the process server comes to you on a Saturday, take your summons and come to court. You understand? Some people try to say, oh, you can't serve me on this day and that day. People feel they know the law more than us sometimes, but no. So take your summons on a Saturday, come to court Monday and say, hey, I just got it Saturday. Maybe I need a little time, or we can proceed with the matter. But Monday to Saturday, that is fine. You come to court.
And how is there a
Yes,
proper way? Is there a proper way of serving or improper way? You know, some people say, I don't touch in it, you know, so I'm not served or whatever the case is, or walk away or so. What does the server do in a situation like that? Do they just drop it on the ground? Do they, you know?
Yes, so when we come to you with the summons, the process server would say to you, hey, I have this for you. They may choose to read it to you. And some persons, they don't want to take it. But the process server can throw this at your feet and it will be proper service to the court. Because some persons, they generally don't want to take it. I ain't taking this is not mine, I don't want it. They show you your name and you're still saying you don't want it. The process server can throw this at your feet, or sit in your vehicle, on your person, and the court would say this is proper service.
What about entering one's property? The process server has the authority to enter your property, like open your gate and stuff like that?
Open your gate. Well, I mean, police officers have the authority to do a lot of things. So once they know that you're in there, they have a summons for you. I mean, we wouldn't just break down your door, but we'll come to you nicely, and we hope that you would open the gate and open the door and take the summons. But you do know that we have powers, especially with warrants, to enter at any time, any place. Yes.
Right. Okay. I remember when I was a little boy, they came with a warrant, you know.
With warrant is completely different than the summons.
Right. And they're like, they're like, hey, I'm a child, you can't come in my house. you know, as you say, we don't say we sometimes believe we know the law more than the people who execute the law, you know. And I know that sometimes you guys would have a lot of challenges with people trying to be difficult. I don't hear much of it. Maybe there isn't much of it happening. I don't hear much of it. And if there is a lot of it happening, I don't hear about it, that police get in a lot of trouble to serve. I mean, probably we are very cooperative people, are we?
Well, we do have issue with serving summons and finding people, because sometimes, I mean, though we're a small country, but
you do get it wrong a lot, eh?
We don't know persons by the right name. So when you're going to make a complaint on John Doe, you might know him by Stop It, because that's how we call him. And when you go and you ask who's John Doe, we don't know John Doe, because we generally don't know persons by their proper names. So those little challenges in serving summons, yes.
Okay, but
generally where people not taking it, and we rarely have those.
Okay, all right, great. Just wanted to know the level of cooperation that you get. All right, good information, good stuff. Any additional information that you have for us this morning? Well, today, sorry.
No, we just wanted to let the general public know in terms of the summons and stuff, what is expected of them. And I think I would have highlighted all of it, what is expected. And we just want to reiterate the point that when you get a summons, it's a command. You ought to show up in court at the date and the time. Let's avoid the arrest thereafter. So come and state your claim. If you don't want to proceed your matter, you come, you say that. But generally, that is what we wanted the public to get the idea of. When you get the summons, especially summons, you have to come to court on receipt of same, date and time. It would be in the complaint, it would be on the summons, you read it and you show up.
Sounds good. Well, it's been a pleasure having you with us today. I learned a lot. Now, people don't have no excuse, because I think you did a good job in explaining what it is that your office do, what a summon is, what are the warrants, and the differences between the two, and how they are served and all of that, all right, and what is expected of us when we are served. So we are appreciative of that. Thank you very much, and God bless you and your team at the Prosecution Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force.
Thank you, Mikey.
Okay, great. And that's it for today's program, folks. We were just speaking to Constable 13, lucky number 13, Chrisanne James, and she's attached to the Prosecution Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force. And this is one of a series of programs that we are doing in collaboration with the Royal Grenada Police Force, of course, to, better aid you in the information that you need to know when it comes to engaging with the police, when it comes to what the police do, and what is expected of us. We'll have another program for you again next week, God's willing. And what we're going to do right now, again, say thank you to the officer who, as you were saying, gave a really good account of herself and explaining, being very eloquent in explaining, what it is that the office does. We did conduct a poll during the live, and of course, we just wanted to get a feel as to whether or not you would appreciate us doing some more of these programs, maybe not only with the police, but with other entities. And the consensus is yes, so we are going to do that probably one night per week in place of the national report. As some of you, I know you go hot all the belly, because I like all the NR, right? Okay, all right, so here's what we're going to do right now. Let me just take a quick break, and when I come back, all we will do is we will give you the weather, and of course we will have the national report posted on our page. How is that? So we're going to post the national report on the page, and all we're going to do now, take a short break and come back with the weather. How about that? We'll be back.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are superb distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love. Like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
In recognition of our nation's independence, we're celebrating the journey to 50 with an exclusive car insurance offer. If you are 50 years and over or turning 50 in 2024, our 50-plus car insurance is perfect for you. It's loaded with free benefits like loss of use, special perils, and windscreen cover up to $2,500. Getting to 50 is filled with ups and downs. Let's celebrate these moments together and look forward to 50 more. Call Beacon Insurance at 440-4447 or log on to beacongrenada.com to get a free quote today. Special conditions apply.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess and Klein and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Excuse me, miss. What's that ding-ding noise?
Oh, that's customers collecting points from a frequent shopper program.
Okay.
Each time you shop with your frequent shopper card, you earn points, which can be redeemed for future discounts on purchases. Seems like you don't have one.
Nope.
You can sign up today and start collecting your points.
Pick your daily reward from the Quartz Ready Cash Money Tree. Every customer is a winner with every loan of $3,000 or more from Quartz Ready Cash. Plus, you get to enter to win a weekend for two at Sandals. No deposit, no collateral needed. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. Visit your nearest Quartz or Ready Cash location today or apply online at www.quartz.com. Get more for 2024 with Quartz Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
Infinite Contractors and Machinery. We are your one-stop engineering and consultancy company with experience locally, regionally, and internationally. We provide excavation services and engineering consultancy, construction of residential and commercial structures, civil works such as drainage, retaining walls, roads, concrete patio services, paving services, concrete driveway services, remodeling and renovation, painting services, styling services, and so much more. Ask about our rental services of excavators, heavy equipment, metal formwork, and steel prop. Contact us today via telephone number 537-9675 or email infinitecontractors19@gmail.com.
Plug into Digicel Plus and get even more entertainment with Disney Plus included. The best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic all in one place. Whenever you want, plug into Plus to enjoy Disney Plus and much more with a home fiber bundle. Sign up today. Digicel Plus.
All right. So welcome back, folks, and it is now time for the weather that's submitted by the Met Office. We can tell you that the weather is expected to be generally fair and windy, becoming partly cloudy at times with the chance for brief, isolated showers. Tonight's minimum temperature 25.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east-southeasterly to southeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Seas moderate with waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. Now, taking a look at the weather for Wednesday, we can tell you that the weather is expected to be generally fair and windy, becoming partly cloudy at times with increasing concentrations of haze during the evening. Now, there's a warning, moderate haze overnight. Max temperature 31.5 degrees Celsius and minimum 26. Winds southeasterly to southeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Seas moderate with waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. That's our weather report for tonight and tomorrow. And before we scoot out of here, we want to say hello to the folks who are currently on YouTube. So all the people on YouTube, we've got Catherine, Celine, Suzanne, and Hillary. We've got Island Girl. Who else? We've got Jennifer. We've got Keith, Mom, Lintana, the rest of the family. Did I say Celine? And everyone else. Hello. Suzanne, how are you? Over to Facebook, big up to Java and the Sharing Committee first of all. Java and the Sharing Committee, hello to you. And Hazel, Hazelyn, Bernadette, Diana. Who else is there? Michelle, Joseph. Who else is there with us? Alvin, Averill, Adonna, Jacinta, Jennifer, Angel, Joseph, Curtis, Nova Null. Who else? Karil? How do you pronounce your name? Your last name? Oh, so that's Kalile. Sorry, that's Kalile. How do you pronounce that last name? How do you pronounce your last name? Ciarke. Please help me with that. Carlisle. Who else? And everyone else who's there. Probably you're there, you're not seeing. Oh, it's Clark. So why do you have an eye? Because, is it me? I find I've seen an eye. I'm seeing a Ciarke. Oh, so you're playing bright. It's supposed to be Clarke, Clark, but you put an I. Is it? That's what you did? You tie me up there, man. Why is that one by? So, Kalile, blessings to you, all right, Kalile? I've not seen you before, I don't think. So, welcome, and we hope to see you all the time. All right. Who else is with us? Well, Joseph, who are you giving a rose day? You're proposing to somebody, or Joseph? Bermuda, what going? So anyway, guys, take care of yourselves. We're hoping to be back. Des Fred, what's going on? We'll touch base again tomorrow, God's willing. All right, guys, so take care. Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. we all say, Ja, no. Make sure all the share the business. Oh, so Kalil says Kalil is always on, but I have not noticed. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry if you're always here. Okay, thank you to everybody who shared, and those of you who have not yet shared, shame on you. Take care, guys. I love and appreciate every one of you. God bless you. Have a good one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja. No, take care.
Thank you.